The final reality is here. Hebrews 8, verses 1 to 2 and verse 5. Now the point in what we are saying is this: we have such a high priest, one who is seated at the right hand of the throne of the majesty in heaven, a minister in the holy places, in the true tent that the Lord set up, not man. They serve a copy and shadow of the heavenly things. For when Moses was about to erect the tent, he was instructed by God, saying, "See that you make everything according to the pattern that was shown you on the mountain." So yesterday we touched and finished on how Jesus is the reality of these shadows. These shadows cast an image of him, and if you follow those shadows, you will get to Christ. They served a purpose, but now he is making something new. He hasn't replaced them as such. He has made them mean something different, and we touch on that today. And so the point is that the one priest who goes between us and God and makes us right with God and prays for us to God is not an ordinary, weak, sinful, dying priest as in the Old Testament days. He is the Son of God, strong, sinless, and with an indestructible life. Not only those things, but he is not ministering in an earthly tabernacle with all its limitations of place and size that gets worn out and moth-eaten and soaked and burned and torn and stolen. In Hebrews 8:2, it says that Christ is ministering to us in the true tent that the Lord set up, not man. This is not the shadow. It's the real thing in heaven. This is the reality that cast a shadow on Mount Sinai for Moses to copy. And according to Hebrews 8:1, another great thing that about the reality, which is greater than the shadow, is that our high priest is seated at the right hand of the majesty in heaven. No Old Testament priest could ever say that. Jesus deals directly with God the Father. He has a place of honor beside God. He is loved and respected infinitely by God. He is constantly with God. This is not a shadow reality like curtains and bowls and tables and candles and robes and tassels and sheep and goats and pigeons. This is final, ultimate reality. God and his Son interacting in love and holiness for our eternal salvation. Ultimate reality is the persons of the Godhead in relationship, dealing with each other concerning how their majesty and holiness and love and justice and goodness and truth shall be manifest in us, his redeemed people. And so Jesus came to bring an end, to fulfill and therefore bring an end to multiple priests, to multiple sacrifices in a man-made temple, with the best of that was in the Holy of Holies, which the priest could only go in once a year for the atonement of Israel. And Jesus has come as the one and only great high priest, who doesn't go into the Holy of Holies, he goes straight into heaven. And not just once a year, but constantly, always, he's seated at the right hand of God. And he is the one ultimate sacrifice, once and for all. We don't have to keep sacrificing, and he doesn't have to keep sacrificing every time we want forgiveness of sins. He has done it all. And when we forgive, he freely gives us forgiveness. And so he is the final reality. And so what we do today even what we do as church, even what we do as fellowship, is still just a shadow. It's something that is displaying something of Jesus. But the power and the beauty is we can all have that relationship with Jesus. And it is a relationship. So don't no longer live in the shadows of religion. Live in the reality of relationship. And start this Christmas as you ponder the wonders of his coming.